Hello everyone, this is NCM Afrik-Ann, your DIY tutor. Welcome to another interesting tutorial. In today's tutorial, we'll be making this turban visor hat, or you can call it a beach sun hat. So please stay tuned and watch to the end to see how I made this beautiful sun hat. To make this sun hat, I'll be needing my Ankara fabric, my satin fabric, and I'll be needing my elastic. So we'll make the band first before making the brim for the cap. So I have my Ankara fabric. So what I'll be needing, the measurement I'll be needing for this is my head circumference. The head circumference I'm going to be using for this cap is 22 inches. 22 inches. So I'm going to be adding extra 4 inches allowance for my elastic, but you can make yours 5 inches or more extra, but I'm just okay with this 4 inches because I don't want it to be too bulgy at the back. So the head circumference I'm working with is 22 inches plus 4 inches extra for our allowance. So I'm going to be cutting out by 6 inches. So I'll be needing 22 inches plus 4 inches extra for my allowance by 6 inches. If you are using a stretchy fabric to make this cap, you won't be needing an elastic and the extra 4 inches I added. So just go ahead and use your head circumference without adding an elastic and any extra allowance. So I have this cut out. So I have my head circumference plus 4 inches allowance for our elastic. So I'll be using my Ankara fabric to cut my satin. I'm just going to place this on my satin fabric. So I have my Ankara and my satin cut out. So I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and sew by half an inch. I'm going to be closing these two ends by half an inch. So after sewing this, I'm just going to turn it over like this. I will take this to the ironing table and give it a very good press. Okay, I've given it a very good press. So it's time to fix in our elastic. So I'm just going to bend this into two like this. So remember, this is our head circumference plus 4 inches extra because of our elastic. So this is a 4 inches extra. I'm going to divide 4 inches by 2. 4 inches divided by 2. This is my 2 inches. I'll come down and mark 2 inches. So this is a 4 inches extra fabric we added to our head circumference because of our elastic. So after marking out my 4 inches on the opposite side, I'm going to be sewing by 1 inch from this marked point to this marked point. Please feel free to ask any question concerning this on the comment section. This is my extra 4 inches. So I've sewn. I came down by 1 inch and sew from one point to another. So it's time to fix my elastic. I'll be fixing my elastic from this point to this point. So I'm just going to take in my elastic from this open end and pass it through the channel I created for the elastic. So as I'm passing it in, I will be checking. So this is my marked point, and this is where my elastic is. So I'm going to be leaving about 1 inch elastic inside before the point, before my marked point. So I'm just going to sew it to my fabric. So I'm just going to gather it like this. So I'll be gathering my 4 inches with my elastic. So after fixing my elastic, I'll cut out the extra elastic that I have here. So you can see we fixed our elastic. I'll go to the opposite side and repeat the same thing. So I fixed my elastic at the back. I'm just going to cut out the extra. So after fixing the elastic, I'm just going to pick one end of this and I'll fold in a little by 1/2 inch. I'm going to fold this in by 1/2 inch. I won't take in too much, I won't alter my measurement. So after folding, I'm going to bring this other end and fix it inside. So with this method, we are going to have a very neat finishing inside out. So I'll be top stitching on this. So as you can see, the band is looking very neat inside and out. So it's time to get the brim for the cap. So I'll be using this as a pattern to cut out my brim. So what I have here is 10 inches by 5, 10 inches by 5, 10 by 5. So I'm just going to I'll fold this into two. After folding this into two, from this midpoint, I'm going to come down by 2 inches. So from this midpoint, I'll come down by 2 inches. So from these 2 inches, I'm going to make a curve connecting this sharp edge. So I'm going to make a curve like this. So I'll come to the opposite end. I will mark another 2 inches. Then from these 2 inches, I'm going to make another slight curve like this. So after curving, this is how to get my brim for my sun hat. I'm going to cut this. So we've gotten our brim for our sun hat. So we're using this as my stiffener. This is Marco. You can get this Marco from people that sell shoe making and bag making material. So I'm just going to place this on my Marco and cut out. So after cutting out my brim from my Marco, I'm going to get my Ankara fabric. I have this on fold. So this is the wrong side of the fabric. I'm going to place this. And I'll mark out my brim, leaving half-inch allowance around my brim. So I've marked on my fabric, leaving half-inch allowance all around. So I'm going to cut this out. So after cutting this out, I'm going to be sewing from this point to this point, leaving this point open. I'm going to be sewing by the half-inch allowance I left around it. So after sewing, I'm going to be making some notches around it. sewing this, I'm going to give it, I'll take it to my ironing table and give it a good press. So after ironing this, I'm going to fix in my marco inside. So after fixing in my brim, you can see I've fixed in. So you can see I've fixed in my brim properly. So I'm going to be sewing this end by 1/2 inch to keep my brim in place. So you can see my brim is well placed. So just come and give it some top stitches so it can have that professional look. So as you can see, my brim is having that professional look. So I'll be using my bias tape to seal up this rough end. After sealing this up with my bias tape, I'm going to get the midpoint of my brim. This is the midpoint of my brim. And this is the midpoint of my base. So I'm going to bring these 2 points together. So after fixing my brim, I'll be making a top stitch on this. I'll be making a top stitch from this end to this end. So I'll be making this top stitch on my brim to make it relax well. So can see my brim is sitting very well. So the next I'm going to do is to fold like this. So this is the center of my cap. So after marking the center of my cap, I'm going to get my needle and thread. You can see my thread is well doubled. So I'm going to pass this in. I'm going to gather this together with my needle and thread. So we are done with our sun hat. I'm just going to put this on so you see how beautiful it is. So this is the outcome of our sun hat. Thanks for watching, and please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, do not forget to subscribe. If this video was helpful to you, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next tutorial. Bye.